Hello students, today we are going to discuss the 8th chapter of class 10th history, forward block and Indian National Army. As per the reduced syllabus, we have to study 3 important topics from this chapter. They are forward block and its objectives, Indian National Army and its objectives, and the contributions of Subhash Chandra Bose. These are the 3 main topics we have to cover, we have to study from this chapter. In the previous chapter, in the chapter of Quit India movement, you have studied that after the suppression of Quit India movement, the nationalist movement in India became passive. There was no active freedom movement anywhere inside India from the period of 1942 to 1947. But beyond the borders of India, in Southeast Asia, the freedom movement was organized and intensified by Subhash Chandra Bose and Indian National Army. Before going to the main topics of this chapter, you should know who was Subhash Chandra Bose. Subhash Chandra Bose, also known as Netaji, was one of the greatest freedom fighters India ever produced. He fought against Britain with the help of the enemies of Great Britain like Germany and Japan. The activities of Indian National Army was intensified at the time of the Second World War. The Second World War started in 1939 and lasted up to 1945. During this period, there were battles in different parts of the world, and Subhash Chandra Bose made alliance with the enemies of Britain like Germany and Italy, and with the support of these two countries, he led the Indian National Army from Southeast Asia towards India. Subhash Chandra Bose was a man of action with the practical principles, and he could not agree with the principles of Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi's principles like ahimsa and passive resistance were not acceptable for Subhash Chandra Bose, and he resorted revolutionary methods for the attainment of Swaraj. With this intention, he reorganized Indian National Army and planned to make an armed revolution against the Great Britain. Now we are moving to the first topic of this chapter, forward block. Remember, forward block was a political party formed by Subhash Chandra Bose. Forward block was a left-wing political party formed within the Indian National Congress by Subhash Chandra Bose on 3rd May 1939. Remember, what is forward block? Forward block was a left-wing political party formed within Indian National Congress by Subhash Chandra Bose on 3rd May 1939. In the previous chapter, we studied that the left wing within Congress became very active from 1934. That left wing later formed into Congress Socialist Party. At the time of the Quit India movement, the Congress Socialist Party took the leadership of Quit India movement when all the important leaders of Indian National Congress were imprisoned. So Subhash Chandra Bose formed a left wing in the Congress. That political party came to be known as Forward Bloc. For the formation of Forward Bloc, there were many reasons, and the most important reason for the formation of Forward Bloc was a rift with Mahatma Gandhi. In the year 1939, Subhash Chandra Bose was elected as the president of Congress unanimously. After completing his tenure, he contested for one more term when the annual session of Congress held in 1939, and he won that election, but it was disliked by Mahatma Gandhi. So when he assumed power as the president of Indian National Congress for the year 1939-1940, the Gandhi wing, the supporters of Mahatma Gandhi, began to oppose. So it was a problem for Subhash Chandra Bose to work smoothly. So he resigned the presidency of Congress and formed the political party named Forward Bloc. So we can say that the main reason for the formation of Forward Bloc was the rift with Mahatma Gandhi. Now we are moving to the next topic, one of the main topics of this chapter, the objectives of Forward Bloc. There are 4 points you have to remember under the heading objectives of Forward Bloc. The first objective, the immediate objective for the formation of Forward Bloc was liberation of India with the support of workers, peasants, youth and other organizations. This first point was the immediate objective of Forward Bloc. We can say simply the most important objective, the major objective of Forward Bloc was the attainment of India's independence with the support of working class people, peasants, youngsters and other organizations. Then after attaining this freedom, the Forward Bloc would work for the establishment of a socialist state through the following methods. So we can say that the other objectives are after the attainment of independence. The other objectives means to make India a socialist state. You know what is a socialist state? A socialist state is a state where all the factors of production, the 4 factors of production like land, labor, capital and organization, these factors of productions are owned not by an individual. It is owned not by the government. In a socialist state, the factors of production are possessed and managed by the society, the community. So such a state was the dream of Subhash Chandra Bose and his political party Forward Bloc. Their objective, they planned for making India a socialist state after the independence through the reorganization of agriculture and industry on socialist lines. According to the socialist principle, everywhere in the world, everywhere in the life, there are exploitation. In agriculture and industry, there is exploitation. So Subhash Chandra Bose and Forward Bloc wanted to reorganize agriculture and industry on socialist lines. There, farmers and workers should not be exploited. The third objective, abolition of Zamindari system. Zamindari system is a system of land holding. At the time of independence or before independence, the major portions of the cultivable land were possessed by large landlords. The farmers who were working under this system were called peasants. They have to cultivate the land and a major share of their product should be taken by the landlord. So the zamindars were exploiting the peasants. So to save the farmers, to save the peasants, Subhash Chandra Bose and Forward Bloc planned to abolish zamindari system. Then the last objective, the fourth objective is introduction of a new monetary and credit system. The farmers for cultivating the field were taking loans from the private money lenders. But these private money lenders charging high rate of interest. To support and help the working class people and peasants, a new credit and monetary system should start. That system will provide loans at a cheaper rate of interest. These were the main objectives of Forward Bloc. One immediate objective and three other objectives. So these points, the objectives of Forward Bloc is very important. Now moving to the next topic, Indian National Army and the objectives of Indian National Army. Indian National Army was an armed force formed by the Indian nationalists and Imperial Japan in 1943 in Southeast Asia during the Second World War. It was founded by Mohan Singh, an Indian officer in the British Indian Army. So this army, Indian National Army, was an army different from all other armies of the world. You know, an army is maintained by the government of a particular country. It is financed, protected and maintained by the government of that particular country. But Indian National Army was a different army. It was organized in foreign soil. It was not getting any support from the government. It was formed by some Indians who were working in Southeast Asia. The founder of Indian National Army was Mohan Singh, who was an Indian officer in the British Indian Army. In August 1943, Subhash Chandra Bose took the charge of Indian National Army and became the Supreme Commander. Once Subhash Chandra Bose took the leadership of Indian National Army, he introduced so many changes in the army. The Indian National Army was consisting of many youngsters living in Southeast Asia. They were Indians, and the number of members of Indian National Army was increased when the Japanese force handed over the prisoners of war to Mohan Singh, the founder of Indian National Army. Once Subhash Chandra Bose took the leadership, many people were attracted towards this Indian National Army. Subhash Chandra Bose provided them training and he reorganized the Indian National Army and he set up headquarters for INA in Yangon and Singapore and reorganized it, and he equipped this army for attacking the British They were supported by this members of the army was supported by the enemies of Britain like Japan and Germany. Now the next topic is the objectives of Indian National Army. 4 points you have to remember, four major points of the objectives of Indian National Army. The first objective of the Indian National Army is to organize an armed revolution and to fight British with the modern arms. Remember these points. The first objective of Indian National Army is to organize an armed revolution and to fight the British with the modern arms. You have studied about the various incidents happened in the course of the Indian freedom struggle. Whether it is non-cooperation movement, civil disobedience movement or Quit India movement. In these 3 political movements, there was no armed revolution. All these movements were organized in constitutional means. But the objective of Indian National Army under Subhash Chandra Bose was to organize an armed revolution. They planned to take arms against the British army. They wanted to expel British army from India by using force. Second one, to organize a provisional government of free India in order to mobilize all the forces effectively. Since it was not possible to operate from the Indian soil, a provisional government, a temporary government should be set up. The duty of the provisional government is to mobilize all the forces effectively. So we can say that the second objective of Indian National Army was to organize a provisional government of free India in order to mobilize all the forces effectively. The third objective of INA is total mobilization of Indian manpower and money for a total war. For organizing and operating an army, financial resources are required. For the working of Indian National Army, there was no government support. It was depending on the contributions of Japan and Germany. It was provided with arms and ammunition, vehicles, tanks, or other equipments were provided by the foreign countries. In order to collect more money, in order to equip the army, they wanted to find out more financial resources. So it worked for a total mobilization of Indian manpower and money for a total war. The last point you have to remember under the heading, the objective of Indian National Army, the motto of INA. The motto of INA was unity, faith and sacrifice. So these are the 4 points you have to remember under the heading objectives of INA. Now the last topic, the contributions of Subhash Chandra Bose. The contributions of Subhash Chandra Bose, there we have to remember some points. These are to be remembered as points. Many points are there. You have to remember the following points. The first point under the heading, the contributions of Subhash Chandra Bose. First one, he was instrumental in the formation of forward bloc. Many points you can write. The simple points as simple as possible. Some of the points, minimum 4 points you have to remember. The first one, Subhash Chandra Bose was instrumental in the formation of forward bloc. The first political party formed by Subhash Chandra Bose, forward bloc. Second one, Subhash Chandra Bose led freedom struggle outside India. Even though this Indian National Army was organized in the foreign soil, with the support of Japanese forces, it was moving towards the borders of India. And some of the territories of India were conquered by Indian National Army. So you can arrive to this point. He led freedom struggle outside India. Third one, Subhash Chandra Bose set up a provisional government of free India in Singapore. That is the third point, the setting up of a provisional government for free India. The fourth one, he reorganized INA. INA was founded by Mohan Singh, but the Indian National Army was reorganized and made systematic by Subhash Chandra Bose. And this INA set an inspiring example of patriotism. It inspired thousands of youngsters. They became the active members of Indian National Army and they bravely participated in the freedom struggle. And the last point under the heading contributions of Subhash Chandra Bose, he gave the call to his soldiers. A famous quotation was given by Subhash Chandra Bose: "Give me blood and I shall give you freedom." These were the points coming under the heading Subhash Chandra Bose. For 5 points are there, any 4 you have to remember. This is the end of the chapter. The question answers in the exercise, a few question answers are, short questions are there. Find out the answers. In the coming videos, I will give the answers for the short questions. Thank you.